Hello everybody and welcome back to the Spencer Arms, and today is a little bit of a chat about, still in the German beer theme from Oktoberfest. I'm not dressing up tonight because the 6 beers have been done. I wanted to do all 6 of them dressed up in that outfit. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed the August Steiner video. I was quite privileged, even though you know, I'm not one of the sort of out there beer reviewers. I was quite privileged to be able to get that beer, I think before most people have, simply because we've got a great shop on Clarendon Park Road in Clarendon Park, Leicester, called The Offie, and I managed to get that beer from him. Talking of which, in Clarendon Park's where we had the Radio.Two Party in the Park this weekend, or last week, the weekend just gone. Absolutely fantastic. What a brilliant time. And it was where I decided to, I am going to talk about a beer, so you can fast forward anytime you like. I have got a beer here I'm going to talk about. But I decided, I'd had this t-shirt for quite a while. I decided I wanted to wear it, but I said to Janie, I don't know whether to wear it or not, because seriously, it does attract attention, doesn't it? It's a big statement. It's a big, bold statement. But from the Boys Get Sad 2 website, it's basically saying, I've got a bit of notes here, that when you're wearing the clothing, you're opening up the conversation around men's mental health. Now, everybody suffers with their own, everybody has little sort of like little issues and little suffers, little triggers, little things that don't. And I'm a really happy guy. And yeah, you know, I've had things go on in my life that's caused me problems, and I still have to work through them. I write songs about them. Some of the songs that I've written do have the lyrics in that lend themselves to the struggles that I've had. But anyway, I am happy, jolly, my life's great, I love my life and everything else. But we all know that there is things that can trigger, and being in the building trade all my life, it was always man up. I mean, you know, I'm a geezer, I'm a man, I'm a builder, I'm a joiner. I've been in the trade all my life, and there's no problem with all that. But the stuff that I have probably spoke about now, I would never have spoken about years ago. And I think it's really coming forward that we can all speak about this sort of stuff. So anyway, even the young lads coming through now, they're a new generation. And I like the fact that as guys can, like, you know, have a hug and, like, you know, and keep smiling, man, and, like, you know, talk to me about stuff. You know, I'm not gonna put you down or anything. I'm gonna help you through it. And I've really seen a change, especially within the building trade, how sort of like guys are now being able to open up. I mean, I do keep myself to myself quite a lot, and I think one of the problems is that I have suffered in silence. But in wearing this t-shirt at the Radio.Two Party in the Park, I sort of opened myself up. It was really weird. I'm the sort of guy who can stand in front of the camera, be silly, daft. I can get my guitar and go on stage and play and sing. You know, I'm sort of an extrovert that way, but I'm also, what's the other word, an introvert. So I'm also very shy. You probably wouldn't believe it, you're probably laughing at me. But I'm very shy, and I do keep my feelings to myself. One of the biggest people I suffer with is myself. And one of the biggest person that causes me the biggest problems is myself. But yeah, so in wearing this t-shirt, I did get asked. It did draw attention, not to the fact like, look at me, but it was like, I really like your t-shirt. That the artwork's nice. What does that mean? Where's it coming from? And I just explained about it started with 4 words on a piece of paper, and then they started with no funding, no backing, no nothing, and they wanted to get out there, come across that, you know, men. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to talk about your problems. So yeah, so 84 men take their lives each week, and the subject of male mental health is often overlooked. So yeah, so they also give 10% of their profits, I believe, to Calm, which is the campaign against living miserably. Now, I do feel I'm a very, very lucky human being, and I never really talk about anything because there are far more people out there that are suffering way beyond. I'm privileged and lucky. My life is brilliant, you know, as James Blunt would say. but there's just always something that can come and just like come back. But yeah, I'm very fortunate, but yeah, little more notes. Sometimes it feels like you're alone. Boys Get Sad 2 is here to show you not. So this is sort of like a clothing brand that's getting the premise across that boys, lads, men of all ages, just don't suffer in silence. Chat to your friends, chat to your work colleagues, chat to your mates or whatever. Tell them about this, and just and I found that like I did actually start just talking and open up a little bit when people asked me, and so Janie says to me, why don't you do your beer review or your beer chat tomorrow wearing this and just explain it. But I didn't want to, it's like pub talk, so I'm not a beer reviewer. I've got a pub at the bottom of the garden that I created. And in that, I've done a bit of music in here. I want to do a bit more music. I want to do it, the subject of chat and talk in the pub. I find it very difficult to get across how I'm getting across with this. So without further ado, I'm going to crack open a beer and I'll probably carry on chatting and waffling about crap while I do it. So whilst you're on the German thing, I'm a bit hoarse from the shouting at the party. I've done a little research into how you say this. So this is from my man down at the offie on Clarendon Park Road. Now I've had a quick look. This is available on say Beers of Europe, and I think there's another website that I've been mentioned to. But I really enjoyed the fact of going down to the offie and paying a little bit more for it. Yes, I could have got it cheaper. But it was nice to support an independent shop. Now, I do like Beers of Europe is an independent. They've got a shop. They also sell online. I like that. So when we go and visit friends over that way, they live 8 minutes away from Beers of Europe. So I can fly in there and get myself a few beers. But I love the fact that in Clarendon Park, Leicester, where I live, there's the offie. He has, I think, 300 world beers or 300 different types of beers or whatever. Anyway, this is called, I think is it Rothus? And it's a hefeweizen. Correct me if I'm wrong. The light's shining off my glasses. I don't know why I'm wearing my glasses because I only really wear the glasses when I need to look close up. Where you gone? There's nothing on here that I can see. There's no description. It's all in blooming German, isn't it? So, it's a wheat beer essentially. And I really am enjoying these wheat beers. So, he told me this was a good one. So I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to talk to you guys about it. So here's the Budvar glass. I really enjoyed drinking the beers out of this. It's been a really favourable glass to drink all these Oktoberfest beers. This isn't an Oktoberfest beer, anyway if you know. But I've really enjoyed it. It's been a good glass. I'd like a proper wheat beer glass, like with anything. So that's cracked that open. It made a little fizz. It wasn't really overly fizzy. Now, you never know what these beers are going to do. You never know how they're going to break out. You never know how the carbonation is going to crash. You never know how big the head's going to be. You've got to just watch it, try it. And I think a wheat beer, you want a really nice, a big head. Look at that I'm getting good at these pours. I am getting good at these pours. I really am. Oh, and I can smell that. Oh, my glass probably isn't as clean as it should be. Look, Lee Spencer, Spenno, bubbles in the glass. But hang on. Could that be a little bit of use? But no, I'm gonna have to say there that my glass probably. And the thing is, I've just cleaned it as well, so there could be something. Oh no, oh it's gone. It's gone. Anyway, that looks like a wheat beer, doesn't it? But slightly probably darker than the ones I've had. Slightly darker than the Polana one, I would have thought. That is currently, at the minute, my favourite one, the Polana. But then again, I think every beer that they produce would be a firm favourite. I've got to think, I was going to talk a little bit about the Oktoberfest beers as well that I've reviewed, because I can't find a winner, really. Initially, it was the Paulaner Oktoberfest beer, but then I went through them all and thought, I really love this one. Hofbräu, is it? Hofbräu. Really loved it. Then this one came along. Now this one probably, for me, was really great. The first time I'd ever picked out spice in a beer. That was so spicy for me. Really peppery, spicy. I will never ever, if I watch a beer review and somebody says this is really spicy and peppery and I can't get it, I'm never gonna say it's there. I loved them all. The only one that probably didn't really hit the spot as much was the Spaten. So I think the Spaten, for me, has come last in the 6. So that's quite easy to put that, but not because it isn't any good. It's because it's just not, for me, as good as all the rest. So what I've got all 6 of them again. So I've even got, I think it's in here, is it in here? I've even got another, he let me have 2. So I've even got another one then. So I was going to send that out to somebody, but he hasn't given me his address yet. So let's swirl this round. I don't know whether there'll be anything in the bottom of this glass. It smells very nice. It smells very fresh and crisp and clean. It smells very nice, even though it ain't clean, is it? Smells very nice. Coming in at 5.4% ABV. Oh, crikey, that is really banana-y, that is. Oh, Janie hates bananas. When I leave a banana, so this is a beer talk. Boys Get Sad talk, general talk. It'll probably be 40 minutes long. You can fast forward it. You can choose not to watch it. Whatever. I don't want to preach anything or whatever, but what's the point in having a pub if you can't have a pub conversation? I can't do any live feeds or anything like that. But yeah, a friend of mine wore his Boys Get Sad t-shirt in the pub, and I seen it and I was like, wow, I've heard of them. And he said, yeah, since I've been wearing this t-shirt, I can't believe how people have spoke to me about it and things. And I thought, I'm going to order one just to support it. And yeah, and it came and it's been in the drawer because I've sort of been a little bit like wary to wear it, which I shouldn't have done. But like I say, I didn't want it draws the wrong attention to me, because it's like, you're wearing that t-shirt, you're making a statement that you've probably suffered a bit. And here we are on my YouTube channel saying that through circumstances that have happened in my life, it has caused me to suffer a bit, but it still doesn't make me unhappy. I'm so happy. I met Janie. Me and Janie will be married a year this October. She's the best thing since my daughter was born and my grandson. My daughter being born and my grandson being born are 2 monumental, fantastic days. But Janie's the best thing that's happened to me. We've been together 4 years on our first wedding anniversary, and she's my solid rock and my soulmate that I've been waiting for all my life. And she says to me, go down to Spencer Arms. I know it's Monday and we're not supposed to be drinking, and talk about this t-shirt and the beer. So this is smelling like a quite nice ripe banana. The sort of ripeness where if I left a banana in the kitchen to ripen this much, Janie would be like, you need to eat that or it's going in the bin, because she can't stand the smell of bananas. Whereas, snorting the beer, that is very banana-y. Nice and wheaty as well, as you'd expect. I don't believe I said that, but it's like, I just smelled that. Yeah, really nice, fruity, sweet smelling loveliness. Monday night, I've done again today at work. We did over 50,000 steps in 2 days. We walked from Wigston to the party in the park. And then we danced all day and everything else, and we walked back. We did about 14 miles that day. And then we did a similar thing the next day, over 50,000 steps. And then today, I've done nearly 24,000 steps, and 22,000 of them was at work. So I'm ready for this. Cheers, everybody. Prost, because it's German. That, my friends, is quite delicious, quite juicy, sweet, but not sweet as in, whenever I say sweet, I'm really selective and I'm really careful with how that comes across, because I don't like sweet beers. But that is sweet like a banana would be sweet, or any fruit would be sweet in its loveliness, and the sweetness that is coming from the yeast. That's coming from the yeast. Now, I'm going to tell you something now that I heard the other day, and it boggles my mind. If you have a look on Paulaner's website, they did a Oktoberfest little discussion. They talked about the Paulaner Oktoberfest beer, and they talked about the wheat beer as well. And they said the wheat beer has got, wait for it, 2,500 aromas, smells. They said something that a good person, like one of the absolute expert, like the main guy who you've seen on, say if you looked on the Oktoberfest videos, the starting off videos, he's tapping the barrel and everything else. About 100. A good person smell 100. So you could get 20 beer reviewers smelling this, and each one will pick out different noses, won't they? For me, as an as a non-expert, just a bloke who drinks beer, and many beers, right from your darkest to your lightest, from your stouts to your lagers to your New England IPAs to your West Coast IPA, any style of beer you can think of, apart from sours. I don't do sours, but I might even find a quality sour and see if I can get myself into that. But I should doubt it. It's a beer. It's a beer style that I really don't like. But the wheat beers I love. Lovely. This is like, it's an orangey colour, isn't it? It's a nice orangey. So this is very fruity, very banana. I mean, there's probably even, now I've said that, maybe a bit of like orangey, lemony, fruity, just fruity, banana-y. Maybe some like vanilla smell in there as well, because I know wheat beers can carry a bit of vanilla smell, and I can get it if I start thinking about ice cream. Absolutely, definitely. The more I think about ice cream, the more that vanilla smell will come through. But fundamentally, there's a banana. It's like a cup of banana. Absolutely unbelievable. I love wheat beers. I really do love that sweet, juicy loveliness you get from the yeast. The smells that you get from the yeast, the yeast strains that these use must be absolutely lovely. And the length of time that they ferment these, lager these, whatever they do, that gives these that absolute, like, beautiful. There's not enough superlatives to talk about how nice this beer tastes. However, I do wish I had a Paulaner wheat beer, because I always come back and compare it to that. But at 5.4%. So I don't know whether anybody else was down at the Radio.Two party in the park, but it was a great weekend, and the logistically wise were fantastic. The first time ever that me and Janie have gone for a wee first, and she's beat me out. I couldn't believe it. The bars were great. You literally like a chain link sort of like queuing system. I never even had to queue. It just walked around, it carried on flowing, went to the bar. There were loads of bar staff. Purity Brewery was there. They did sort of like their main, some of their main beers. And they also had a craft beer bar, which had their sort of craft beer in there, but it also had the Mill Hill Brewery there as well, which is based in Enderby in Leicester, and they had it's a Leicester thing. I'll put that photo on now. They also had Meet Me at the Clock Tower, which was a New England pale ale, I think. I think I've got a picture of that. If I have, I'll show you that now. And yeah, it's a Leicester thing. It was a proper good danky flavour, you know, danky smelling, juicy fruit, like pale, I think it was. Yeah, very nice, good. Overly expensive, as you'd expect at one of these events. Absolutely through the nose prices, but is what it is. But I like the name Meet Me at the Clock Tower because it's Leicesterians. If you was going in town and you wanted to meet your mates, you'd be like, right, where shall I meet? I'd just meet you at the Clock Tower. So a good name for a beer and a very nice New England IPA. Unfortunately, I didn't buy one to bring back, but it is available on their website, I'm sure. So I'll tag them in this as well. I'll put their website on in this. You can have a check them out if you really want a bit of a Leicester beer. But yeah, just sticking to this, it's just beautiful, lovely, flavoursome, very wheaty now, banana-y, vanilla-y. There is a spice in there now. See, now I picked up on the spice. There is some spiciness to that, not like the Lowenbräu, but like there is a spicy note to that. Reminds me, I keep looking up here. We've got a little sign up here. It says, "Welcome to Lee and Jane's Bar, established 2022." And I'm sure there's a pina colada there. And this wheat beer looks like a bit of a pina colada, like spinning around in this glass. So yeah, I was quite worried about the bubbles in the glass, thinking it weren't a clean glass, but I think there might have just been maybe a little bit of yeast from the bottle. I don't know, like in there. I don't think any of these are. Can you get a bottle conditioned lager? I don't know. You can get a cellar. Is it a Keller lager, which is unfiltered and unfined? So, you know, I mean, these are probably you probably could have a little bit of settling yeast in there. Which would be nice. It's nice, isn't it? So the big party in the park, right in the place where I grew up in, Clarendon Park. I even wrote a song about it. I used to play on the park, and then the next thing we got this massive event here, and only because obviously last year our lovely Queenie passed away. And out of respect, the party in the park, which was at Leeds, I think, had to be cancelled. It was just one of those things that had to happen. And as a consequence of that, you know, it came here in Leicester. Unfortunate and sad that the Queen passed, but at the same time, thankful that she had a really good life and had a really good innings and you know, I'm not a big royalist or anything, but I do like having a royal family. I do. You know, when you talk about things like this, you open yourself up to, oh, bloody hell, I don't like the royals. Oh, I love the royals, I know. But anyway, comments are comments. Everybody's subjective. You like the royals, you do. If you don't, you don't. But just whatever comments you put in there, just keep it nice and kind, please. Well, yeah, I understand everything. We all like beer. We don't like beer. People like one beer and somebody else will go, I can't stand that beer. It's like this one. Is it Erdinger? It's an Oktoberfest beer. It's got Oktoberfest on it. It wasn't one of the official 6, obviously, but I know a lot of people love that. Love it. And I've done my review on it. And then I've watched the reviews on it afterwards, and it's been loved or it's been not so loved or whatever. And it just goes to show you can't watch a beer review and that be it. Like you've got to watch it, get the description out of what everybody's saying, watch a few reviews, and you get a bit of a perspective about different things in, because like I say, if there's 2,500 aromas in a single beer, and there's going to be probably loads and loads of different flavours and tastes, there's going to be something in there that people are going to pick out, and then I'll pick something out, somebody else will pick something out, and and then you're going to decide whether you want to give it a try. I find that I've got people who pretty much like what I like, so if they say, I found this beer, mate, and it's really good, you want to give it a try, I'm pretty much sure I'm going to enjoy it. Now I really do feel like I'm waffling now, so I'm probably going to edit this out a lot. So really, really nice, almost malty taste from what would be, I would imagine, the wheat. So is the malted wheat? Because that's got, as it warms up a little bit as well, some very nice banana. You know when bananas are really, really soft, you know when they're starting to go brown a little bit, and they start getting that real banana-y smell, taste. This is a banana beer, it's a real good example of a wheat beer, and I've not. So mixing this in with what I've just been talking about, I don't know, I stopped the video today and I cut out a load afterwards because it was really me waffling. But this is actually Tuesday night, so just before this clip was Monday, this is Tuesday. And I'm continuing with the Boys Get Sad 2 theme, as well as drinking what is going to be, I'm sure, some fine wheat beer. I went to work this morning and I couldn't believe it. With the video that I was making today, yesterday and now through today, and I've not even washed it, it went in the wash bag again. And Jenny says, well, I've not washed, it's not her responsibility, I can wash my own clothes as well. But it didn't actually get in the wash, so I've come down. I went to work today, and my work colleague, who I've worked with since I was 18 years old, I'm 53 years old now, I've worked with him all my life. We're self-employed partners. We did used to work for ourselves and the general public. Now we contract and we work we basically work for a company full time, sub to them full time, which is quite convenient. We start, we finish, we do the job, we go and we forget about it. But he actually says to me this morning, when we were doing a job that didn't really lend itself to a lot of noise, we were basically just doing a lot of clearing up from what we ripped out the day before. He just come out and said, like, oh God, I'm feeling a bit down. Now, to come from my friend, my work colleague, who I know inside and out, he's the longest relationship I've ever had. And I was with my ex-wife for 30 years. So it's the longest relationship I've ever had. And yeah, I've never really actually heard him say that. Now, this morning I felt really good. I felt really good, really upbeat. And he sort of said, because we're going out in the morning early, it's dark in the morning. We come home dark. This goes accountable for a lot of people, not just me, I'm just talking in general. But then working outside all the time, if it rains, we're in the rain. If it's hot, we're hot. We have to wear hard hats, plastic hats, glasses, gloves, everything. So Monday was it was so hot, but it was wet. So I had my waterproofs on, it was really uncomfortable. And then you get hot, you take them off, and then it rains, and then you put them on, and it's horrible. But he was saying, yeah, I'm feeling a bit down. So I was like, well, come on, man, speak about it. Now there's this suggestion that if you say to your mate, how are you, buddy? And he said, I'm fine. Go again, no, how are you? And just, are you okay? There was a thing about that, because we'll all say, even when I was sort of like really, really feeling down, really bad, I was here on my own and I was just sort of self-destructing a bit. Nobody knew what I was going through, because I was always up and jolly. Hi guys, how's it going? And everything else. So how you doing, Spenno? Yeah, great, mate. Brilliant sound. But where it was like, I was dying, I was crying inside, So just a little pause. So I've got this, look. So this is like a bit of a double review, double chat. So this is a Helles Hefe, I believe. Helles, I think, meaning pale, light. Hefe. This is a hefeweizen. So I think a hefeweizen is, because I don't know a lot about the actual production of these beers. I'm newly into wheat beers, but all I know, I can tell you what they taste like and how good they are. It's an unfiltered. Basically it's an unfiltered wheat beer. So there's going to be, like with the one I had before, and I thought I had a dirty glass, but it's probably like the yeast just, there's going to be some yeast in here, which I love. Oh my God. So yeah, I can't say who this is by. Have a look at the label yourself. If anybody speaks German, you'll know that. But yeah, it says Helles Hefe, but it is actually a Weizen, and it's a hefeweizen. So it is an unfiltered wheat beer, German wheat beer. This was actually £4.25 from the off in Clarendon Park. And I would suggest that you can get this on Beers of Europe, and it will be cheaper, there's no doubt about it. But I try to buy, like I said earlier on, I do use Beers of Europe. But because I know they're a shop as well, they're an actual place. But I noticed Amazon, my friend says to me, have you tried Amazon? And, oh, is it going to be I thought it was going to be an overflow, but I've caught it again, look. Oh my goodness me, the smell of that is just lit up the... Wow, it's like someone's just sprayed an aroma in my face. It's like, oh, it's nice. So where was I? Yeah, Beers of Europe. Oh, Amazon. So my mate said, have you looked at Amazon for that? I've got all the Oktoberfest beers. Look, so there's all 6 there. Lined up. This one, the one that's proven hard to get, which I'm pleased I had. They're all lining up looking fine. That one's unopened because that's just a new one, but I threw the actual first bottle away because I knew I got plenty then. Yeah, and Amazon are like doing an Oktoberfest pack or whatever it is, and they have got some of the beers in there, rather expensive I think. But yeah, I mean, I'm guilty of using Amazon, I'm not gonna lie. But when it comes to beer, oh, I don't know. Are we going to head that way? Depends how it is. It's all about cost effectiveness, isn't it? I would rather just go to a local offie and buy the beer from them, not then order it off Beers of Europe, no, because they're great. But then to go to places like Amazon or places that are just trying to just online stuff that's trying to basically just ruin the little shops and things for everything. But I am guilty of using Amazon for quick things. But anyway, so in between talking about this, talking about general crap, let's talk about this beer as well. I felt great this last Tuesday, fantastic this morning. So when my friend says to me he was feeling down, I almost felt like it was almost like good for me, because I thought, I've spoke to him about stuff that I've gone through. He's been a rock. Whereas like this morning, I was feeling so uplifted, so great, so brilliant. And bless him, he was feeling down. So he talked to me as we ferried stuff and worked and ferried and what have you. And basically I just let him blabble on about what was on his mind. And I have actually never heard him speak that quite intensively about his feelings before. He was actually like feeling a bit down, and but the best thing about it was, I basically says to him, I showed him a photo of this. I went, there you go, mate, boys get sad too, come here. And I gave him a hug, yeah, and he laughed, he smiled. So for a second or so, that laughter took away whatever was troubling his mind. So basically this, I'm probably going to like just finish on that now. But yeah, please check out the Boys Get Sad Too website. I'll put the link in there. And just remember, lads, don't be afraid to talk to your mates. It's a lot easier than you think. There's some troubles that you might not want to share. I'm not one for being openly open too much about everything. Whereas like just to say like, when this how you spend, I'm like, God, I'm just feeling a bit, from what's gone on and things from. Sometimes it gets me and all that. And, oh mate, talk to me. And then you find yourself in a bit of you do start explaining about things, and you're looking for that reassurance and things. And don't be afraid to do it. I'm in the building trade. we're all full of men, ain't we? You know what I mean? Well, let me just tell you now, the man's softened up a little bit. You know, we can shed a tear, we can cry. Jesus. Oh, right, I'm gonna stop you there. Oh, I've swirled that out, and now I've missed a trick. Can you see a difference in colour in there, right? So in there, I've just seen it now. There is dancing about yeasty goodness sediment in there. It's like a lava lamp. Do you get me, look? See the difference? See the difference there, look? So this is like a lava lamp sort of beer, as I'd call it. I did it with the Belgian beer. I threw it in and it just done all this sort of like lava lamp stuff. Oh, there's nothing left in there. I want to get like, come on. Oh, a little bit of a drip. Yes, so yeah, there is obviously, this is an unfiltered bit. Oh my God, that is gonna have one hell of a mouthfeel. I can see it. Without even putting that to my lips, I was gonna have one hell of a mouthfeel. So, again, the banana-y, like the one I've had earlier on, I would say not quite as strong, a little bit more sweeter, but not as ripe, if you get me. Bananas go through quite a change, don't they, that I've said earlier on. I'm going to be forgetting about some instead, so please forgive me. It is Spano waffle. Similar sort of smell. They've all got that sort of similar smell. Probably a little bit of nice bready goodness going on there. Yeah, a nice banana-y bread. You know, if you have a banana sandwich? Yeah. If you have a banana sandwich, and it's really weird, some of the sandwiches we have, crisp sandwich, it's a brilliant crisp. Tell me if you don't like a crisp sandwich, right? Banana sandwich. We've all had a banana sandwich, haven't we? When you get like a nice nutty bread, and like a nice nutty brown bread, and a banana, you squidge it. It has to be a squidgy banana, and you squidge it about and you spread it, and then when you pick it up, it's all squidgy, and sometimes it goes a little bit liquidy and soaks in the bread. That is literally a banana sandwich. I can get them nice, sort of browny, bready banana sandwich. Anyway, cheers, let's dive into this. This is going to be amazing. I'm sure it is. Oh. Now I do tend to swill the beer around my mouth quite a bit. And when I watch the video back and edit it, I think, oh my God, this is like a minute long of swilling. So sometimes I'll drink the beer and it seems as if I've gone, and I'm back on. But trust me, each sip I have, I swill the beer around my mouth. I want to get all the full mouthfeel. I want to get the flavours. I want to get everything that this beer is doing to me. This is coming in at 6% ABV as well. All these German beers, all the Oktoberfest beers, apart from the Spaten, I didn't even consider the alcohol in them. The Spaten gave me a bit of an alcohol on the nose, I think. In the end, I could smell it was alcoholic. But these 6% beers, German beers, are just easy to drink. They're lovely. I'm getting some nice malty taste. So, yes, there is a nice malted wheat taste in there. I'm getting used to the malted wheat. Malted barley, I can really sort of pick out, I can really sort of like identify them. The malted wheat is like a new taste. There might even be, it took me a while with that one, but then all of a sudden it hit me like a bit of a spice. This one's coming a little bit, this has got like a nice tingling spice. Really lovely flavour, really lovely. This isn't quite as banana-y. There is a, it's not, there's not, these aren't really, there's not really hoppy beers, are there, these? Sticking my tongue into that beer in my mouth is like putting it on one of them little 9-volt batteries. You know the ones that, calculator batteries as we used to call them. Like when you get that fizz. Now, a brand new one gives you a proper good pop. One that's not quite so brand new gives you like a nice little tingle on the tongue. That's like about a halfway down the 9-volt battery, what we've all done as kids, of my age anyway. On your tongue, it's got a beautiful, nice, I'm going to say a solid medium mouthfeel on there. A stunning tingle on the tongue. Some nice, there's lots of flavours in there. There's like a very prominent spicy flavour in there. Now, I can't quite pick it out. But it is spicy. It's tingly. It's damn bloody fine, people. This is, and yeah, it's very hazy, very hazy. Hefeweizen, lovely. Probably this one's a little bit of an off-white, not quite as white head. I think this. I mean, the other one had just. Was that yes, that was a Hefeweizen. So this was a unfiltered beer as well, and that was quite a similar sort, but I think that was a bit more orangey. Well, that's earlier on in this video, so you've only just watched it, but this is not quite as, well, it might be, it is quite orangey, but it's very, 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 very cloudy, a bit more belchy, carbonation is a little bit more, but you know, we know that yeast naturally forms the CO2 in the beer. So this has been fermented really well, and it's probably been left for a while. Oh, I love these wheat beers. So yeah, I always find like these are lovely, really cold, really refreshing, fresh. You know, it's a fresh, definitely still that banana sandwich for me. Bready, malty, a dark bread. You know, what's the difference between malted wheat and malted barley? You know, there is obviously different tastes, and you can taste it. You can taste it. Now, I'm not 100% sure, but I've got down a couple of these, and I've started to get some caramel notes, and I sort of stopped myself because I think, well, they can't. You know, they're going to put like a malted barley as well to give it. It's all about the malted wheat, shouldn't it? A wheat beer. But if you're going to get caramel notes, then I'm thinking more of a malted barley. But I've not got that yet. But I can almost sense it coming, because everyone, it's like a real back edition. Everyone I sort of get and I warm it up. As you warm it up, you sort of like almost. You deactivate the malted wheat a bit, and the real poignant yeast flavours, and it sort of almost like brings out any, if they've put any malted barley in there, which I'm not sure that they do. But as soon as I've finished these, I tend to because they're letting nothing away unless you speak German. There's nothing on these. But I don't know whether I embarrass myself sometimes by giving flavours that are in the beer that don't even exist. But I'm sure they do if I can taste them and talk about the beer. But what I do is, I will, obviously I've researched what a hefeweizen is, just to find out it's an unfiltered beer. But I do this, and then I will look for other reviewers that have done it, see what they say. And then I will go hunting to find out what actually is the tasting notes, if you can find them, to see how close I've got. It's almost like a beer quiz for me. I don't want to go and, you know, get all the bloody tasting notes that are apparently in this, because I'm just going to taste absolutely all of them things. If someone turned around and says, I don't know, this tastes like apple, or I mean, I'd spot apple a mile away because I'm really keen on apples. Then what's the point in discovering the beer? Because I'm not going to embarrass myself on picking out flavours in here that somebody else has not picked out, because in the Oktoberfest beer from Polana, there's 2,000 aromas, and I would imagine there's a hell of a lot of taste as well. So, you know, what I pick out of this is what I pick out of this, but all I can say is this is yummy. This, if you like a banana sandwich, and you like some decent bread, nice banana, you like a bit of spice, maybe a bit of vanilla. I just thought about the vanilla, and you can get that little creaminess from, if you think about ice cream and when you're drinking this, if you think about a vanilla ice cream, not a Mr. Whippy, you know, one of the proper nice vanilla, you know, where you'd have the clotted cream on it, then you can pick some of that out. I'll tell you what, to be honest with you, I'm going to be honest with you now, I'm actually tasting the alcohol in this now. So I am starting to get, because I was just thinking to myself, what is that? There's something giving something to me. And I am actually taking, I'm actually tasting that 6% in that now. And it's almost, I've not got much left. What is it? Oh. Do you know what? It's all... brandy. It's almost brandy-like. Oh, I'm a bit gutted I've only got that. That's I'll get to that, and I've just discovered that. And that's because it's warming up. Oh my God. Now, I used to drink brandy all the time with my ex-father-in-law, he was like a dad to me. And I hate to say my ex-father. He is, well, I have a lovely father-in-law as well now. My father and mother, my mother and father-in-law are absolutely stunning, beautiful, great people. I love them dearly. My ex-father-in-law, I grew up with him since I was sort of 18 years old, for 30 odd years. So he's like a dad to me. God rest his soul. But like, I used to drink brandy with him all the while. He was Irish. He could literally drink it. I'll be on my arse. Oh my God, yeah. Oh my God. That's that. Yeah, that's a. But you know, like a cheap brandy. We always used to say bottom of the barrel brandy, where all the fruit is. You know, I can't think what we used to drink, what brandy we used to drink, where we liked. So we drink some like really good brandy, but we'd also drink. I can't think what a particular brandy was, but as you say to me, it's like the bottom of the barrel. It's where all the fruit and stuff is, and it's where you get all the like the. You know, it's not the real refined stuff. It's not the what I don't know nothing about it. But that is like the fruity brandy. Now I'm intrigued with that. Right, I'm gonna have to get another one of these. Oh my God! So think about really fruity brandy. Think about having a banana sandwich. Really nice brown bread, really nice banana sandwich with a little glass of fruity brandy next to it, and getting all their flavours in your mouth. There you go. Now, I don't know whether that sounds appealing or not, but take my word for it. That, and that, and of course this, which I had last night, but this is what I waffled on about a lot and I got rid of. These three. The one in the middle is quite more of the lesser bodied one, but I think that's quite a famous one. These three, literally, grab them. Excellent. I'd say have this one first, which is the more lighter bodied one. Quite flavoursome, but more of a underripe banana. Then start getting onto the more riper banana with, I can't remember, it's a bit fruity. Then whack it in between a couple of rounds of nice brown bread. A banana that you can't even eat because it's gone so overripe that it's juicy. Swack it in a bit of a couple of rounds of bread. Get that down you with a little glass of nice fruity brandy. That's excellent, that is. That's an excellent, excellent hefeweizen. Love it, love it. Right, okay, so thank you for watching this video. I don't know how I'm going to get all this into one video, because please remember, whether you're a boy, whether you're a girl, whether you're young, whether you're old, you know, at any given time, if you're feeling a little bit, not yourself, a little bit odds and ends, as I'd say, yeah, don't sort of like sit there in silence. You know, talk to somebody. You don't have to tell them the story. You just got to tell them that I could just do with a friend right now, or I could do with a cuddle, I could do with a hug. And, you know, one of the young lads at work the other day, he was like getting stressed out. He said, oh, I'm going to be thinking about this all weekend. It's going to be getting on my mind all weekend. And I went, look, come here. And I told him, don't you dare go home. I used to let work really go on top of my head. But now, when that living bell goes, like, that's me done. You know, I don't do that stressed anymore. So I said to him, you go home, spend it with your family, forget about this, you know, forget about it. And I went, come here, give me a hug. And he gave me a hug, and he laughed and chuckled, and that was that. So yeah, we're all here for each other. Smile, laugh, and like it says over there and on my arm, you know, live, laugh, and love. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then I'd love you to like it, comment. I'd love to see lots of different opinions and comments and things, both about the beer, about Boys Get Sad, about anything you want. And also, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'm about 160 now. I'd love to hit that 200 mark. That'd be a milestone for me. That'd be amazing. All right, thank you. Take care, everybody. Have a lovely day tomorrow. This has been Tuesday. The earliest start was Monday, and you'll probably get this video on YouTube about Thursday or Friday, when I managed to delete all the other videos in order to download this. Take care, everybody. Thank you so much. Lots of love.